A man might drop a coin on the ground and never find it again, but a crow will find it in a flash. Knowledge, in its essence, was a glaring jewel, and the madwoman was a crow. She pressed, reached, picked, and gathered. She knew so many things. She knew where the witch lived, for example. She could walk there blindfolded if she could just get out the tower for long enough. She knew where the witch took the children. She knew what those towns were like. "How is our patient doing this morning?" the head sister said to her at the dawning of each day. How much sorrow presses on her poor, poor soul. She was hungry. The madwoman could feel it. None, the madwoman could have said if she felt like speaking, but she didn't. For years, the madwoman's sorrows had fed the head sister. For years, she felt the predatory pounce. Sorrow eater. The madwoman discovered the self-knowing. It was not a term that she ever learned. She found it the way she found anything that was useful. She reached through the gaps of the world and worried it out. For years, she lay silently in her cell while the head sister gorged herself on sorrow. And then one day, there was no sorrow to be had. The madwoman learned to lock it away, seal it off with something else. Hope. And more, Sister Ignatia went away hungry. Clever, the sister said, her mouth a thin, grim line. You have locked me out for now. You have locked me in, the madwoman thought, a tiny spark of hope igniting in her soul. For now. The madwoman pressed her face to the thick bars in her thin window. The witch had left the outcropping and was, right now, limping toward the town walls, just as the council was carrying the lady's baby to the gates. No mother wailed, no father screamed. They did not fight for their doomed child. They watched numbly as the infant was carried into the horrors of the forest, believing it would keep those horrors away. They set their faces and stared at fear. Fools, the madwoman wanted to tell them. You're looking the wrong way. The madwoman folded a map into the shape of a falcon. There were things that she could make happen, things that she could not explain. This was true before they came for her baby. Before the tower, one measure of wheat would become two. Fabric worn thin as paper would become thick and luxurious in her hands. But slowly, during her long years in the tower, her gifts had become sharp and clear. She found bits and pieces of magic in the gaps of the world and squirreled them away. The madwoman took aim. The witch was heading for the clearing. The elders were headed for the clearing, and the falcon would fly directly to where the baby was. She knew it in her bones. Grand Elder Garland was, it was true, getting on years. The potions he received every week from the Sisters of the Star helped, but these days they seemed to help less than usual, and it annoyed him. And the business with the babies annoyed him too. Not the concept of it, really, nor the results. He simply did not enjoy touching babies. They were loud, boorish, and, frankly, selfish. Plus, they stank. The one he held now certainly did. Gravitas was all fine and good, and it was important to maintain appearances. But Garland shifted the baby from one arm to the other. He was getting too old for this sort of thing. He missed Aunt Tane. He knew he was being silly.